Hello, welcome to Kate Kajira Gaming. Welcome if you are new. You can call me KK, and welcome back to part two of our Pride flag houses. In last episode, we worked on the pansexual Pride house, which is this pink, yellow, and blue house here on the very first lot. And today, on the second house, we are going to work on the ace or demisexual flag. The colors of demisexual or ace are going to be black, gray, white, and purple. So let's go ahead and let's get started with our building. Now, I decided I wanted to put this little townhome on a foundation instead of having like a faux garage like I did with the pansexual house. I just after filming and building, I was like, that is just a lot of wasted space. So I think I'm just gonna do a little foundation on this one, and then I'll determine from there if the next couple of houses are going to be flat like the pan house, or if they're gonna have a foundation like the ace slash demi house that we are currently working on. So far, each of our houses are going to be 2 stories. The bottom floor is going to be the main living area, possibly a bathroom laundry room situation, some den study, computer area, art area thing, and then followed by a kitchen. And then, of course, the upstairs are where we have our bedrooms and possibly bathrooms and some other little mismatch of things that I end up putting together. So for this one, just like I did with the pan house, I am trying to make sure that the colors of each level do match the appropriated flags. Now with the roof, for this one, I decided to do quite a few pieces for this roof because I wanted them all to have the different colors. I wanted them to all have the whole flag across the whole roof. The hardest part with this one was trying to find a roofing tile that had all of those colors. So the shingles themselves are going to have every color but the white, but I do go in with like those little finial topper things in white. So there is still that white up there. Unfortunately, I could not get any sort of white roofing that was in every single category. So we're kind of left with this situation up here. And the purple roof isn't really even purple. It's like this weird magenta-y color, but that's what The Sims says is purple. So that's what we're going with. And here are those little finial things I was talking about. They are in like this little chimney roof detail section of the build mode. And now it is time to work on the first floor of the house. Y'all, the Realm of Magic doors work so perfectly. They have all of the colors of the ace flag in them, which is absolutely fantastic. And then I decided to go in with these shuttered windows along the sides. Just I don't know why. Yeah, they're not letting in a lot of light, but they look nice-ish, and really you don't see them anyway unless you're inside the house. So it's fine. I did end up creating this little bay window on the second floor, so I did have to extend it and add our roofing again. And still on the second floor, we are adding these shuttered windows, and in the purple, we added that circular flower window. Now here we go with dividing our rooms. So of course the front is our sitting area, and I have a half bath in the sitting area, but attached to the half bath, just like with the pan flag house, we are going to have a laundry area, and then we have our makeshift whatever room I decide for it to be in the middle, followed by our purple kitchen. We do need more purple countertops along with more purple appliances. So that one did give me a little bit of a struggle, but I think I made it work. We'll see how it looks at the end. Our first room is going to be black because that is the first color of the flag. So this is going to be a very like opulent room. It's not going to be like the pan flag house where I am starting to include other colors of the flag because the black doesn't look as bad in this room. It kind of gives it that nice like overall not goth feel, but it does kind of feel cohesive with everything being black in this room. I tried to keep a lot of the furniture modern because I wasn't using the same items from each pack. So I wanted to make sure they all kind of at least blended a little bit and they weren't a mismatch of just, oh, well, this is a black piece of furniture. Let's put it in here. My favorite, I think, have to be these snowy escape chairs. I do use them quite a few times in my build. I just love little touches of blanket. It's adorable, and I don't know, it makes the whole space feel kind of comfy cozy. By the front window, we are putting a little table with some reading books. I love this little like book stack thing here. I think it is so cute, and it's just a perfect filler. Of course, we do need to have a reading lamp in the corner. And then I put this little credenza table thing right outside the bathroom. Why? I don't know. It was blank space. In the pan house, I put a computer desk, but I'm doing that middle room as our computer room. So we had to have just something put there. I did decide to go towards the back and add like a little back patio because as I was continuing to build, I realized I didn't really have anything in the back of any of my houses so far. And it was a little bit lackluster. So we're going to finish adding some final details to the front room, like just plants. I love this purple plant. Just adds a little pop of color. And then we're adding some photos on the wall before we move into the bathroom. For our bathroom and laundry area are going to be white. I think it's either white or gray. It's kind of hard to tell in The Sims what the color mix is. Yes, I did use a white and purple wallpaper, but I kind of wanted to blend some of the colors together, and I really like how this color scheme matched well and did kind of blend seamlessly through the few rooms. So this is a half bath, so just a sink and a toilet, and of course some little odds and ends. And then we have to work on our laundry room. Like I said in my pan build, I don't like playing with laundry days because my Sims are always dumb and forget to either do their laundry when I tell them to do their laundry, or they just throw their clothes everywhere because the hamper's full, because again, they're not doing their laundry. But I do love building with the laundry pack. I do think it adds just that little bit of realism in our builds. Now, this center room is our white room. So everything here is going to be bright colors. I did a little bit of a like accent wall. I did most of the walls a solid color, and then I went in with that accent wallpaper that you saw. I did have to pop into the next house to work with these stairs to make sure they did fit in this little corner over here. So under the stairs, we are doing a little reading number. So we are just going to have this bookshelf. I'm going to clutter it with some more books, and then these pillows I'm going to stuff in here. Now, I don't think the pillows when they're under the stairs are going to be functional, but I did like how they looked under there, as if the owner of the house just kind of piled a bunch of pillows up to make it all comfy cozy, including a little basket of stuff. And here is that chair that I set at the front of the house that I loved, complete with the blanket and another set of pillows. We're just going to have them sit here with a little reading lamp, so when the Sims want to come read, they have somewhere comfy to sit. We're going to put our computer desk in between these two windows. This is from the Life and Death pack. I really love this desk out of all the desks that we have. And I'm using the Comfy Gamer computer station. This computer station just reminds me so much of my own personal setup, so I tend to use this one a lot more than the other ones. We're just going to add a little fluffy rug for underneath the feet. Why? I don't know, because the entire room is carpeted, but I like adding rugs. It just adds just that little something else. We're going to frame either side with some books and this nice photo. Can't forget our lighting. I tend to forget the lighting and the the curtains in all of my builds. So you'll see me go back and forth between adding those after I've already built the room before. Sorry. Here is our kitchen. We're doing this weird, kind of like a floating counter peninsula space. The way I had this set up, it didn't really work with any of the way I usually do my kitchen builds, but I do still think it looks kind of cool. It does give still a lot of space for the Sims to be able to get around, sit at the table, use all of their appliances, and still access that little back deck that I ended up building. We're just going to clutter the space with some white and purple items. Now, there weren't very many purple, like, kitchen cluttery items that looked good, so I did have to add some white to kind of tie it all together. It's at this point that I realized I didn't add curtains into the previous room, so I had to go back and do that. I took these floor runners and just kind of put them as like those anti-fatigue mats that you would see in front of the sink and the stove, and I thought it was just a nice little touch. We're just adding a little fenced-in area for the garbage cans. Why? I don't know. Again, I just wanted to add something back here. This little townhouse kind of reminds me of the townhouses when I lived in Philly, where you would go out your kitchen and down a set of stairs to this little paddock area where your trash cans are. So that's kind of the vibe I went for. Hopping on upstairs, we're just going to lay this area out. So in the front, we're going to have the master bath where that bump out is. And then next to it, we're going to have a little bathroom followed by 2 bedrooms. The railing here that I'm putting by the stairs is from the new Businesses and Hobbies kit. It has string lights on it and it's so cute. I love it so much. I did the doors differently here than I did in my first house. In my first house, I made the door colors the same color as the room they were entering, but here I just kept all the doors in the hallway gray so they kind of matched a little bit better. We're going to work on the bathroom first because for whatever reason, I always work on the bathroom first. It just seems to be my go-to to fix it first. So we're using the bathtub from the Life and Death kit, and then I don't know where the rest of the stuff is from. I only know where my favorite items are from, i.e. mainly the Life and Death kit because that is the kit I build with the most. I'm trying to keep the room very classy, very grown up because this is the master bath. So I try to avoid a lot of the posters in these builds. There was a trick a while ago that I had seen that you could frame the posters with another like picture item, but I can never seem to get it to work. So I just always tend to stick with the items that are already framed. I could also probably go into the gallery to see if I could find some art, but I always forget that that exists until way after my builds are done. Now in the master bedroom, we are going to have this adorable 2-person bed, and I'm going to flank it with some tables and some books. And we're going to end up eventually putting some canopy curtain lights on them. We are pulling in a purple dresser and raising up this tall standing mirror just because I really like the look of a leaning mirror against the wall. I wish The Sims would make it to where if you shrink windows or mirrors, that the glass / window pane also shrunk with it, because it doesn't. And it's very sad because I want the windows to shrink or grow based on where I'm putting them. It is what it is, I guess. I found this painting, this little purpley, like, skyline painting somewhere searching for more photos. I don't know where it's from. I've never seen it before. So I'm wondering if it could possibly be in Debug. There aren't very many classy photos that are black. So again, sticking with that Life and Death pack, we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of decor in there and we are done. Moving right on into the white bathroom. So this is going to be a full bath complete with tub and shower, toilet of course, and a sink. So I ended up taking a divider to divide the toilet from the rest of the room, and I kind of think it added just a nice little bit of privacy in here. I think out of the whole build so far, I really love this bathroom. While yes, it is minuscule, I don't know, it's just something about the bathroom and the way that it ended up sitting that I loved the most. And now we're going to work on the first bedroom upstairs. We're doing a single bed, and I do end up using a lot of the Snowy Escape stuff in this room. just because the color palette of all of the photos and a lot of the furniture seems to match the build that we're going for. So we have a dresser against the one wall, and then we end up putting this desk. End up putting it against the window. I did start with it against the wall, but I didn't really like the way it looked. So we're just gonna put it here again with that comfy gamer computer and some books. Books everywhere, you guys. If there's a build I'm doing, there's books and plants. Just expect books and plants to be literally everywhere. Adding a little bit of decor, and we're going to use those snowy escape murals. Like I said, it's just something about that color scheme that just fits having a white slash gray room. And it's, I don't know, I feel like it flows and it looks really pretty. In the corner by the door, we're going to have a bookcase with this grim bunny, and we'll put a little plant on there that you don't see. Sorry. Our final bedroom is the purple room. I really love using this Pride bed. This came with one of the free base game updates. There are a lot of very nice Pride items that they put in the update. This bed is one of them. I am very sad now that I'm thinking about it that they have the Pride like artwork that came with this update, and until just now, as of doing this narration, I forgot it existed. So I'm going to have to try to remember to put it in my other builds if it fits. Now in this room, again, we're doing a lot of those different shades of purple with some pops of white, black, and gray just to kind of tie it all together. And this room we made very artsy. So there's going to be posters and pictures everywhere, and very girly. There's going to end up eventually being some of the yarn, like yarn knitting basket things that came with knitting. And then I do end up putting an easel. I did have this craft desk here. I got rid of it in replacement for that easel. And then I found this art poster. This is one of the like university club posters. And I thought it fit. Number one, it's purple. Number two, it's art. And it fits perfectly in this little section. Our final area to build of this house is the hallway. So the hallway, I just filled it up with a bunch of different photos and tried to make it kind of look cohesive because even though, yes, the photo frames are black and gray, they're all different from different packs. So I had to make do with what I had to keep with our color theme. I do end up just putting a little rocking chair over here by the master bedroom, and then over by the railing, I put a credenza bookcasey type thing, of course, filled with more books and, you guessed it, more plants. I did decide to work on the landscaping for these two houses, and I think that's what I'm going to end up doing for the remainder of the build. Every two houses, I'm going to add on to the landscaping just to make sure that everything kind of like fits together. There is this rainbow bike. I don't know where it's from. It might be in debug. It might have been from one of the base game updates. But I'm just going to very quickly speed through adding the landscaping to both the Pan Pride house and the Demi Ace house, and I will see you guys when we do our final tour. All right, you guys, it is time to do the final tour of our Ace Demi house. I really love how it came out. I think adding that landscaping really tied it all together. So let's go ahead and let's head into the first floor. Again, our first floor, we're going to enter into the living space, which is going to be the black part of the flag. And it just feels so modern, yet so comfy in here. It just feels really inviting, even though everything is all dark, muted colors. This archway is also from Realm of Magic. Again, I told you guys that like Realm of Magic stuff really played really well into this build. Here is our half bath with our little side entrance door into the laundry room. And doing this little walkthrough, I did realize the shelf was too high. It's fine. You guys can fix it later. And coming out of the bathroom into the white and gray section is our little study area. So we have our computer desk, and then under the stairs, we have our bookcase. Touring from the bookcase into our purple kitchen. This kitchen came out really cute. Yeah, it's a little different from the way I normally set up the kitchen, but it's adorable. I love it. It's very, very cute. And of course, going out the back door, this is just our little back patio to get to the trash cans. Let's go ahead. Let's head on upstairs and tour the remainder of the house. In our amazing gray hallway, we just have a ton of pictures and a chair, and we're going to start with the master bedroom first, which is at the end of the hall. So going into our master bedroom, again, it's that very black opulent theme with touches of purple to kind of pull it all together. While everything in here is really dark, just like with the living room, it does still feel really comfy and cozy and kind of really inviting, even with all those dark colors. Same with the bathroom. I love the bathroom. I love that it kind of like just juts out into like the view. I love it. Absolutely love it. Once we leave the master bedroom, our first door here on the left is the hall bathroom. This is our white colored bathroom. I love this bathroom still so much. I do still think this is probably my favorite part of the build is this bathroom. From the bathroom, you go to the next door, and that is the first bedroom, where it is mostly white and gray, using a lot of that snowy escape kit. I love this so much, you guys. We are coming to the end of our build, and I do want to say thank you so much for tuning in to part 2. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this build, and also let me know which flag is your flag, and let's see if it comes up on the rotation. If you guys do enjoy this type of content, including all cozy game content, be sure to click that subscribe button and the notification bell. It'll go ding in your inbox every time I post. I'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys!